We've never lost touch with that original ethos of putting the clients at the heart and center of everything we do. The majority of our new business comes from referrals. We want clients to be so happy with their experience with us that they'll look to introduce friends and family. I would recommend that is absolutely transparent is costs. At 7 a.m, that's something that's very close to our heart. It's been really open with clients at the beginning. There are costs with professional services. You need to be very clear about what are they going to be.
Welcome to Good Money Guide. Today we're joined by Ben Covey. He's head of private clients at 7 a.m. Ben, how are you? Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Richard. Great to be here.
So why don't we start with just telling us a little bit about what 7 a.m. does?
Perfect. So 7 a.m, we've got a number of areas to our business. The private wealth business is where my private client team of advisors sits. Alongside that, we've got our platform business, which is where IFAs will use the 7 a.m. platform to help their clients. And then, of course, we've got our investment management team, which is really where the business was founded. If I go back to 2002, I think it was, there were 7 investment managers who wanted to leave the big corporate they were at and set up a company that could deliver institutional investment management, but with a very personal touch for private clients that they weren't seeing at the big corporate. And so they set up 7 a.m. Fast forward to where we are today, we've got close to 600 people. We're privileged to look after approximately 25 billion of assets under management for about 40,000 families. But we've never lost touch with that original ethos of putting the clients at the heart and center of everything we do and ensuring that high touch client service model. And actually that's how we grow our business. You know, the majority of our new business comes from referrals. We want clients to be so happy with their experience with us that they'll look to introduce friends and family.
So let's focus on that a bit from a private client perspective. If I'm a private client, how will I be looked after at 7 a.m?
So the first interaction will be with one of our advisors, and typically that's going to be face-to-face, right? We'll come out to the client's home or office. We can do video calls, of course, if that's a better use of people's time, but it's so important to build a deep personal relationship between the client and the advisor. We want to understand everything about a client's financial circumstances. What are their dreams? What are their ambitions? So we can then help them on that journey. And in many ways, that, you know, if I've been in this part of the business, this part of the industry for 25 years, I'm always looking after private clients. And what I really love about it is you get to hear people's stories. You get to then help them achieve those financial dreams. So it's a great part of the business to be in, and no 2 days are the same because obviously every client is different, and you know we're helping them in different ways.
So that being said, what sort of accounts do you offer private clients at 7 a.m?
So the most popular service we have at the moment uses the full breadth of wealth management. It's what we call our Wealth Management 360. And this is where we are looking to help clients across the spectrum of financial needs. We've effectively taken them through a journey of sort of 4 steps. The first is looking at their lifetime wealth model. So this is cash flow modeling, looking to see if they're going to have enough money to achieve everything they want to achieve. If they're already in retirement, are they going to generate enough income? If they're working towards retirement, you know, what is the nest egg they need to build? Once we've done the lifetime wealth modeling, we'll then move to tax optimization plan. Now, put simply, that's using all of the available tax breaks and tax favorable accounts to help clients be set up in the most efficient way. So pensions, ISAs, and many more. Once we've done that for clients, we'll then look at our family office. So this is available to all clients, regardless of size, and it's working with our professional partners to help them with other financial needs, like high net worth insurance. It might be foreign exchange for a property overseas. It might be mortgages for the next generation in their family. We can help them with all of this. And then finally, the fourth part, and is sort of at the heart of our business, is the investment management capability. So we bring in that investment management capability to make sure that the different investments, the different wrappers we might have put in place, the pensions, whatever it might be, are invested in the right way. So back to your question, which accounts will we use? So within that solution that we'll put together for a client, there'll be different accounts needed. We find most clients don't want to have day-to-day involvement in the decision making. So it's ongoing advisory accounts. There are some who want to hold a specific stock. So yes, we can have execution-only account for those self-directed clients as well.
Okay, which actually brings us quite nicely onto what can people invest in. Investment management. There's some firms are quite restrictive. Some firms let you invest in anything and everything. So what do people generally invest in at 7am?
So yes, at 7am we've got active, we've got passive, and we've got blended solutions alongside specialist and sustainable funds where that might be needed for clients. We will be using equities and bonds in client portfolios, but we also do think alternatives have an important part to play. Part of our investment philosophy is about diversification. So if you looked at our client portfolios, they are very diverse, and that has helped us over the long term to make sure we've got good, consistent performance. We also don't believe that any one manager consistently outperform in all market cycles. So again, there'll be diversification of managers in all of our client portfolios.
So how does advice change from person to person if you were talking to someone just starting out their wealth management journey to someone who's been with you for a long time?
So every single client situation will be slightly different because they will be at a different point in that wealth creation, or maybe they're in wealth preservation, or they're looking to hand it down to the next generation. So that's what makes our job so enjoyable, because you are meeting clients at all those different stages. Somebody who's just sold a business or just perhaps been fortunate to have an inheritance will have a very different set of needs to somebody who's in retirement, they're in drawdown, they're trying to do that efficiently, and they're thinking about inheritance tax planning. So yes, it's difficult to give a short answer to that. There are a lot of different ways we will help clients, and that's where our advisors really come into their own, using the tax optimization techniques that we spoke about, and then bringing into play the right investment approach for the client, given their risk appetite.
Has advice changed a lot over the years? Because you've been doing this for 2 decades now. Has the appetite for advice changed a lot over the years?
It's definitely evolved. So if I think back to my early days, everything was investment led, and the financial planning tax optimization came later. I think that's been flipped on its head. The industry now, wealth management covers all of those areas, but everyone's much more aware of the importance of getting your plan right at the outset, not trying to do that after the event. So yes, it has evolved, and people do recognize the need for advice. I mean, there's plenty of people who try and do it themselves, but actually the rules change every 6 months. There's constant evolution in our tax rules in this country. So making sure you've got a professional advisor who can help navigate that for you is so important.
For anybody out there who's interested in getting in touch with a wealth manager, yourselves included, what would be 5 questions that you think are really important to ask a potential wealth manager?
So I think the 5 things potential clients should be asking a wealth manager are, first of all, have they got the breadth of expertise to help them across all of their financial planning and tax optimization needs? Secondly, what is the investment philosophy with that wealth management firm? What tools have they got available to them to help? Third, how is that investment performed? And do they deliver on what they say they're going to do? The 4th area I would recommend that is absolutely transparent is costs. At 7am, that's something that's very close to our heart. It's been really open with clients at the beginning. There are costs with professional services. You need to be very clear about what are they going to be. And then the final one for me comes down to the relationship. We want to build lifelong relationships with clients. So what does that relationship team look like? Who's the advisor that's going to be the point person for the client? And they'd be the main 5 for me, for a client to be asking.
Okay. Well, great, Ben. Thank you very much for telling us a little bit more about 7am. If people want to get in touch with you, what's the best way for them to approach 7am?
Yes, brilliant. We'd love to hear from people, so they can approach through our website. You've got contact details on there, and we are on LinkedIn, so you'll find us on there as well. So please do get in touch, and we'll be delighted to help.
Okay. Well, Ben, thank you very much for joining us. It's been a pleasure hearing a bit more about 7am.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.